Hello and welcome. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays first of all, guys. And in this video we're going to take a look at the top 5 most useless weapons in Albion Online. These weapons I would consider to be unplayable and they need serious buffs, or even a rework might be necessary, but the question is, why am I making a video like this? Well, for one, it's fun for me, and it's pretty interesting, I guess, and maybe some of you watching might see this video and be thankful you found out whatever weapon you were trying to spec up is complete trash. But yeah, let's get right into it with number 5, Frost Staff. So it goes without saying that Frost got a lot worse since the nerfs. After being the undisputed number 1 for a very long time for many contents, now you don't see Frost nearly as much except in PvE and in ZVZs. But the thing with Frost is that it's just kind of clunky. Even if Frost was to be OP again, there's just no reason to run it over the other Frost staffs pretty much. Like, just run one-handed Frost instead. Also, it gets blocked by terrain, which makes it a little harder to utilize, but it's not that bad. But combined with Frost not being in the best spot right now, it just doesn't help it. I would say buff the utility numbers a little bit more, maybe make the projectile faster, and instead of the slow, just stun everyone in the path instantly. Make it something like Soul Scythe maybe, but with a stun rather than knock up. Maybe something like that would make it viable in group content, but otherwise it's pretty meh right now. Number 4, Infernal Scythe. So this one actually got buffed recently, and it made me think, why is it not played and how come it's still on this list even after a buff? So there's a few things to keep in mind. Let's compare this to Bloodletter. The strength of Bloodletter E is that it's pretty much instant and you don't have much time to react to it. You can pop defensives preemptively, but again, you can't react to it. With the Scythe, there's a wind-up time, and not only can your opponents use defensives during this time, but in group content, they can also get healed out of range of the second hit. So while you, in theory, get the benefits of having an axe, get the Q and Ws, and being strong in Brawl, and also a strong execute with the E, the issue is you just don't have the E. And just buffing the numbers on it doesn't really solve the core issue here. This is unplayable for solo content, I think, for a plethora of reasons, assuming your enemy has fingers, that is. But in group content, it's just really not viable, unfortunately. I think this one is not salvageable, unlike the Hoarfrost. This one, in my opinion, requires a rework altogether because it's pretty much either unplayable trash or it's giga OP, and I don't think there's much in between, because the numbers will have to be overtuned for it to see play, and at that point it kind of doesn't even matter if you hit the second slice or not, if they're under the threshold percentage HP. It's such a cool looking weapon though, so it sucks that it's not really being played at all, to be honest. Number 3, Wailing Bow. Now, Wailing Bow historically has always been a ZVZ only weapon pretty much, and there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. There's always been weapons which are only suitable for very large scale fights, and I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, but there's a problem here. Wailing Bow is not even good anymore in ZVZs. That should tell you something. When a weapon where it's pretty much made for isn't that good, that is a problem. I remember when a group of coordinated 4 players all threw their E over a wall and I died and I respawned in town. You don't really see that anymore in ZVZs from my experience. Like, Wailing Bow doesn't compete as well with the other meta, one-shot, bomb squad, whatever weapons nowadays. So I do think Wailing Bow is due for a buff. It doesn't have to be a big buff, or it doesn't even have to be a rework. Just slap on 5 or 10% more damage on the E and you're set. Number 2, Infernal Staff. I remember when Infernal Staff got reworked, it was absolutely broken, and people who played 2v2s or 5v5s, you name it, people cried that it was OP, and well, it was busted. So what did SBI do? They giga nerfed it, and it's not being played anywhere since, I think. They just reworked it, nerfed it like instantly, and then left it in the trash, which kind of sucks, but yeah, I think they should revisit this one for sure. I'm not sure if they want to revert the nerf, maybe lower some numbers on it, or rework it again, or I don't know, but it's just in a really weak state right now. And last but not least, the worst weapon currently in Albion Online, in my opinion, based on my criteria, is number 1, Quarterstaff. With the Vault Leap, you jump in with a slow and clunky 0.7 second knockup. That's very easy to react to, by the way. And since the diminishing returns working on knockups, this is even worse than it was before. And it saw absolutely zero play before, so I think it's not unfair to say this weapon probably sees the least play out of any in a competitive setting, and it's just such a shame because all of the other quarterstaffs are very solid, very strong. Now, yes, I realize Ironclad just got nerfed, but I still think the point stands on this one. Maybe revisit or remove the cast time, honestly, and it wouldn't be too horrible, but that 0.6 second cast time just makes it so unreliable, even with a short cooldown. Admittedly, it's only 15 seconds, it's pretty short cooldown, but it's just pretty shit in my opinion. Or just rework it, add something interesting to it, I don't know, but it's just really bad. So that's pretty much it for this short little video. This is my top 5 most useless weapons in Albion Online, and obviously SBI probably has these on the radar for weapons to buff or to rework in the future, but I thought it would be fun to make this little video, and I'm sure I'll get people in the comments thinking, no, it's actually good, it's used here and there, and no, this other weapon here is even worse. And yeah, but again, I could only fit 5 in this video, unfortunately, and I picked these based on a competitive setting with skilled players. Just because you can kill 4-1 players with an Infernal Scythe doesn't mean it's good. Hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.